Hey, how the heck are you? Jonathan here with the Fish Room Addict, and today we're going to start a new build. I'm pumped, I'm excited about it. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I picked up another 55 gallon, and so we're going to start on that. I've got some ideas for it. I think it's going to be a really cool tank, and I'm excited to bring you along. So let's just jump right into it and get started. Alright, so once again, like I said, we're looking at the 55 gallon that I picked up a couple weeks back. And it needs a lot of cleaning, but I wanted to kind of get some ideas, some layout of what I had kind of dreamt up and thought about and kind of landing on as far as how I wanted to scape this and what I was actually going to stock this with. This tank is located directly below the 55 gallon in Buna. So what I did, I built a rack just out of 2x4s for these tanks. This used to house up underneath here, used to have the 65 gallon tank because I didn't have anywhere else to put it at the time, and it just kind of ended up that way. But now that I got this 55, it's going to go here, and this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to paint. I think I'm just going to go ahead with a black background, keep it simple. I'm thinking some plants, and I had seen somewhere, I don't know, sometime back, kind of a split substrate tank. Maybe it was on YouTube. I don't know really where it was at, but what I'm kind of thinking, I put this lava rock here is kind of to build a, I don't know, a small cliff or what, kind of a break. And then what I'm thinking is I want to do some sand on this end with some other, maybe some plants. I don't know if I want to get too heavy with the plants, but definitely some plants in here and maybe some small pieces of driftwood. I put this lava rock kind of stacked in there, just kind of mostly for an outline. And I'm not real crazy about that lava rock. So what I'm thinking is we're just going to go ahead and do we're going to go ahead and build out our own little wall there. So rather than trying to hunt down some rock that I like. So what I've done is over here to the side, I have some styrofoam pieces laid out here, and I'm just going to cut that down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a measurement basically from this point to the furthest point and kind of get something cut out, and then we're just going to kind of build something that I think will look good in there. Just see what turns out. You know, we may end up going back to lava rock or find some other rock. I don't know, but we're going to give this a try and see what happens. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just kind of walk you through how I do this. And if you remember, I'm going to spin around here. I did build this background out of styrofoam and concrete as well, and it turned out pretty good. I do wish I would have went on this one a little thicker on the concrete. If you can tell, like right in there, the concrete's already kind of been knocked off there. I didn't go thick enough on that, and that's something I'll have to eventually change. But anyway, alright, so let me get resituated here. Alright, so again, I'm going to try to film this. Basically what I want is, again, a measurement and this can be pretty rough because this doesn't have to, I'm not exactly set on this particular layout, so it can change. I mean, if this is a little bit longer and it goes down to here, you know, that's okay too. I'm just trying to get, you know, a decent idea about how long this needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get this measurement here if I can. Alright, so about 21 inches. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead with about 21 inches. And like I said, we can cut this down. That's probably a little longer than what I'm actually going to need, but we can always cut that down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark that. And this doesn't have to be perfect because, again, you're going to carve and cut and all that good stuff as you go. So I'm just going to cut this in two. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to stack that. And then probably what I'll do this is probably plenty tall. I'm gonna always go a little bit longer and taller than what you're actually thinking you're gonna want, just because, like I said, I say this probably a million times in the videos, but you're gonna cut a lot off of this. So I'm gonna add this to it, and the reason I'm going a little bit longer is because on this back side, I may end up using this to not only help, basically kind of help hold it down, so that rock will kind of fill over top of this. That's just what I'm gonna do. I don't know if that's gonna help any or not, but anyways, you can see the thickness there, fairly thick. I can cut that down and I can cut in however I want this shelf, well, shelf or clip or whatever you want to call this, to look once it's dry. So I'm going to get this cut down to the same length as well, or roughly. Once again, this is just rough cutting. You not got to be perfect. I'm going to set, so I got 3 pieces here. You can see, you know, if I got to go a little bit thicker as we start going, I can always add some to it. But I believe for the depth, you know, if I put that much substrate in that thing, that's gonna be quite a bit of substrate. So I think it's plenty enough. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start gluing these pieces together. What I'm using for glue, I usually use regular silicone. However, the silicone I had dried up, so I've got some plumber's caulk that I believe will do just fine and do the job as well. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spread it out there. Press that down. So those pieces are together. I'm going to do the same thing with these two. And then to attach them onto this, I'm just going to do poke the back of this one. And stick it to the front. Alright, so this is kind of this is what I've got. Alright, this is just basically I've just made some smaller pieces of styrofoam into a bigger piece. Alright. So what I'll do is this is still drying, so tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to set something kind of heavy, maybe some rocks or something, I don't know, something with some weight, and just kind of hold that together on this floor and let that dry overnight. In the meantime, I'm going to finish cleaning this. It's got a lot of old green algae on it that needs to be cleaned up, and go ahead start doing some more cleanup on it, and then I'm going to probably start prepping and get the first couple of coats of black paint on the background. So I'll take you through that as well. Can you see me? Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to paint the aquarium glass. This is really simple stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it how I do it. As you can tell, this glass has been cleaned. I didn't go through the video of that. I've got a couple of videos on how I clean tank glass. If you want to check those out, I'll put those in the description. But yeah, so let's just jump in. What I use as far as painting the glass is just some cheap flat black paint that I picked up at our local Menards here. So a gallon will go a long way. So if you get a gallon, you can pretty much paint anything, like your entire bedroom. So a gallon goes a long ways. Another thing I use just to help kind of get up into these small spots to make sure everything's covered is a small paintbrush, this cheap paintbrush, and a 4-inch roller. I think they call them hot dog rollers, maybe. Small. Usually I use a sponge, but I had these nap rollers laying around and they work fine too. So Another thing real quick, these are reusable. So if you clean these out really good after you're done using them, you can get multiple uses out of one of these. Another thing I use is this bucket. Actually, okay, yeah, it's a feed scoop. So I don't know if you can read that, but it's a feed scoop. I think I had this laying around. I think I got it maybe at Rural King, or I don't know, somewhere. But anyway, it works really well. You put your paint in the bottom of it, and you can, you know, dip your roller in it, roll it out, get it smooth, and then on you go. Real simple stuff. So I'm gonna get to this. It's nothing really fun. I'm gonna put 3 coats on this, and it's gonna be over a course of probably, I don't know, 3 hours maybe. But I'm gonna put the first coat, it dries fairly quickly. The second coat, it'll take a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna let it all dry overnight. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna do a little time lapse of this and see how it goes. Alright, so there's 3 coats. I may end up doing one more, I don't know. But anyways, that's 3 coats of paint. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here and just go ahead and start a series on this 55-gallon build out. And kind of like we did with the Mary W20. If you've not seen that series, check it out. Cool little series. It's a 20-gallon aquarium we did. Anyways, so the next video we're gonna go into more of the carving of our styrofoam, and probably go ahead and put some concrete on as well. So hit that subscribe button, give me a like, let me know if you have any questions about this, and we'll see you in the next one.